Hello, deplorables. Hello, state property. Hello, cogs, fellow cogs. And welcome to Exile. For those of you guys who don't know, I got the TenNapel stream. The newest channel got wiped again. Again, big surprise. We knew this was coming. But I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about why In Exile got wiped, In Exile Archives got wiped, and now the Doug stream got wiped, and really any channel that I make got wiped. I was able to talk to YouTube, but after all those, and all I'm doing is I'm getting information from YouTube.
Today, I came to party, drinking with my girls, drinking with my boys.
So I have to start by telling the locals community, thank you all for joining. I think I have 13,000 followers here. I've got 1,000 something paid subscribers. They're paying $5 a month. And you guys are just the foundation of, putting the floor under me. So thank you. Financially, it really helps pay the bills around here. And best of all, pretty soon, Locals is going to have streaming where we can live stream and talk to each other. So I'm looking forward to that tool. Come on, Locals, get with the streaming. For those of you who complain about YouTube, you got to realize, I'll tell you the business model of why YouTube works. It's because of the ads that you watch. Most people will not pay $5 a month, but they will watch $5 a month worth of ads. And that's because we don't value our time as much as we value money. And to me, that's inverted. Paying $5 a month here on Locals to not have to watch ads really is what protects this channel, because the only thing that makes YouTube appealing to anyone is because of the ads they run. That we talked about in the last video. That's what makes that whole channel blow up and take off. 500 hours of content is uploaded on YouTube. That's 2019 numbers. It's probably more like 800 hours an hour are uploaded now or more. Because of that amount of content, I want to get this sunk in your head deep. There is not an amount of employees in the world that YouTube can hire to monitor our content. If you think YouTube is going through my content, looking at every one of my dumb little videos, in some cases, they were like 4-hour live streams. If you think they're looking at those videos, you're wrong. The only way that they can look at them is if it gets a warning, like if you say the word gun or terrorist or bombing or something, it will send a little warning to YouTube, and then they'll have an employee go and look at your video and double check it. Almost all YouTube channels that are struck or removed are because an individual audience member reported it. And so I and other YouTube channels have our channels being hunted. Mine are being hunted by people who think that, frankly, God is calling them to take my channel down. They will, and I see them in my chat all the time, and now they're picking on my son. They also took down Q's alt channel. So they're finding our alt channels. Why only Q's in my alt channel? Why is Behizzy's alt channel still up? It's because it's an audience member who is finding us, and I see them in the chat. We triangulate these things over time, and you can find them pretty easily. The problem, YouTube, big bad YouTube is one problem. The audience is another. And if I come out in support of Mike Pence or criticizing Lynn Wood or don't believe that Trump will be installed in office in August, my channel gets reported. Other channels that don't believe that stuff do not get reported. I know who does this stuff. And certain ideologies are protected. And all it is leftism working itself out on the right. And I've always said this is the biggest fear. It's not leftism on the left. It's the leftism, the procedures and their tactics are happening on the right, including cancel culture. So I talked to YouTube on the phone today and said, I can prove to you that it's not my content that is getting me struck. by YouTube. Every one of my videos, right, they go up fine until you breach certain topics. If it was the content, okay, and this is just science, then where that content appeared on YouTube, YouTube would find it because it would trigger the algorithm. They would look at it and they would strike it. So how do you explain that I have all of my videos from In Exile are being posted right now by piracy sites, pretending to be Doug TenNapel in Exile? You can find a Doug TenNapel in Exile channel pretending to be me. All of my videos are up there, including the videos that got struck and removed. The channel are still up on YouTube under a pirate site. That's because it's not about the content. They're coming after the creator, not YouTube, an audience member. So an audience member does not report the videos on the pirate site to YouTube. They report mine because they're after me, not the content. That's important to remember. So with allies like these in the YouTube audience, who needs YouTube to show up to tear us down? That's the biggest reason why I'm safe over here on Locals, because no one, no matter, they can't report videos, they can't take you down. So Locals is a great sanctuary, and I thank you all for supporting me here. The Locals videos, unfortunately, they will get 1/100th the traction. Because man, one thing I know how to do is pump a YouTube channel. That last channel I did, I was up to 32,000 subscribers within about a week and a half. And that's also why it attracts resentful, revengeful people reporting the channel. It was not Media Matters, 100% not Media Matters. It was not necessarily leftists in the audience either, although we have leftist trolls too. But they're not at all as hateful and angry as the pro-Linwood, Pentecostal, anti-Mike Pence haters. They come after you and they call me Antichrist, they call me a terrorist, they've called me a traitor and a sellout, they've called me a fake Christian, a fake conservative. Of course they would feel like they were doing God's work reporting my channel. Okay, as for the content, there's channels just like mine out there doing identical content. They're talking about the audit. They're not getting struck. They're not getting taken down. They're talking about politics. They're rah Trump. They're talking about worldwide blackouts. They're talking about all that stuff. They're fine, and they're getting hundreds of thousands of views and hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I know a ton of them, and I know these people. They are not in our group, so they don't get reported. My buddy Q and I, we learn through triangulation. We put in certain tags in our channel all the time to test them, different tags. Anyways, I'm just saying that's how we discover everything, and we compare the chat and names in the chat and stuff like that. And it's pretty easy to find out what's going on, guys. So for those of you looking for Q, he's over on Patreon. So that's another pay site where you subscribe and you give them a monthly or whatever. You go to Patreon and you look up Out of the Darkness and you'll find Q over there. It would be great to support him. He is a faithful brother and a good, solid guy that you can trust. Like I've said to the left, what I say to the right is the same thing. You can't stop us from talking. You can't stop us from doing our good work. I'm the happiest guy I know because I don't put my happiness in the hands of other people. And the definition of a great life is not to have a YouTube channel. It's to have a wonderful family and to be able to create and do other stuff. But now I've got to think of ways outside of YouTube, and it's going to be very difficult to do full-time YouTube work. So I'm probably going to go back into comics. I'm looking at launching another comic soon. I'll tell you guys all about it. I'm going to try and sell comics. I will probably stream videos of me drawing those comics, and it's going to be an art stream and not politics for a while. I'm going to wait to see how everything shakes out for a little while, but in the meanwhile, I'll be posting stuff here on Locals all the time. I get to rant here and talk about all the things that would normally get me taken down on YouTube. And I still have an ongoing conversation with YouTube. They really want these channels to succeed. They make a lot of money off them. When your channel gets hit by enough complaints, that's usually what takes it down. And I'm still just having a blast, guys. I love creating videos, drawing, doing murals, having fun, and of course, having you guys in my audience. This audience here on Locals is the best people in the world. Do spread the link around to my mailing list, because then you'll know where I land. I know sometimes it's hard to sign up to Locals. People have had a hard time figuring out this platform. Stick with it and figure it out, because this works. This one works. Odyssey does not work. In fact, Odyssey is very much why a lot of my channels get pirated. People in other countries take down the videos from Odyssey. They can give your channel a strike. They can show up as you, get the new channel monetized, and post videos, and they won't get reported. So my In Exile videos are up right now because of Odyssey on YouTube, making someone else money on my content. They're not getting reported. And the same in Rumble. I've put up hundreds of videos, gotten hundreds of thousands of views, and made $100. So that's just a waste of time. I can't even deal with that. So at least on Locals, I do pretty well every month, and it's worth supporting. It is an important platform. It is extremely pro-free speech, and they protect you. And if Locals ever said your channel's getting shut down, they would let me take all of you with me. Emails, contacts, all that. YouTube doesn't let us do that. We don't have access to that audience. So anyways, I'm Doug TenNapel. This is Doug TenNapel in Exile.